Hey everyone, it is Havo High here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we are going to be breaking down all the information we're getting for Golden Week and the Dokkan Festival exclusive GOTENKS and BUU. They're both transformation units. There's a bunch of Dokkan awakenings. There's some great free-to-play units, and there's a lot of good stuff to cover. So with that, if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff, and always a shout out to DBZ Space and the Dokkan Wiki for info and images provided. So yeah, this is going to be a long video because there's a lot to talk about. So if you want to fast forward to certain points that you want to get to, or pause at certain points and get all the data here, this is going to be a one-stop video for all the information on this upcoming celebration. So let's go ahead and jump into the release times on this. This is going to be releasing a lot earlier than a lot of us expected, because Golden Week doesn't start in Japan until 4/29. So this is a full week prior to the start of Golden Week. So this is, I would say, seemingly we're going to be getting a part 2 to Golden Week, hopefully like a summonable LR or maybe a top legendary summoning banner. With 2 LRs we might be getting. I'm guessing Kid Buu, maybe something different. I would love a Kid Buu and Ultimate Gohan. That would be incredible. But anyway, with that, let's go ahead and talk about when this is all going to drop. This is going to be dropping 4/23, 9 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time, and then most of the free-to-play units in the Dokkan Awakenings would be 4/24 at 1 o'clock a.m. So I'm not sure why the separation in time. Could we not get the banners until 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific Daylight Time? Possibly, but the data and all that stuff should be in at 9 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. So it could, the banners could show up a little bit later, but of course I'll be checking it at 9 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. So mark your calendars and check your check your time zones and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and now jump into discussing these units here. Primarily we're going to be discussing the transforming BUU and transforming GOTENKS, and let's talk a little bit about kind of the current meta and kind of what's going on here. Right now you're seeing a lot of +4 category 170 leads. 2 have already been dropped and actually dropped on global as well, and that's the transforming Bardock and then the Piccolo fused with Kami. They're both category 170 leads with a secondary leader skill. And then you're adding on this transformation BUU and transformation GOTENK, and as you can see, it matches up with the type advantages, and it's only missing the strength type advantage. So we should probably see one more Dokkan Festival exclusive strength category +4 170. However, the question is, are they going to continue to do this, or are they going to start producing some of that other meta type units and what I'm calling the passive support leads, and that's a 170% category lead with a passive skill that provides support, like a Android 13, a future Gohan, and cooler strength coolers. So that's kind of where we're at right now in Dokkan, and I'm hoping, I don't know, there's so many categories, so I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but of course comment below if you have any thoughts about what's going to happen with that strength category key +4 170% lead. So anyway, let's go ahead now talk about the 2 top units, and that's GOTEN and BUU. Let's start with GOTENKS first. GOTENKS, what I like about this unit is going to start off as a base form GOTENKS. So right now there's really no amazing base form GOTENKS, so you can run this unit with a Super Saiyan 3 GOTENKS, etc, and Super Saiyan GOTENKS. So you see the base form SSR to the left and then TRs to the right. So let's go ahead and do this full breakdown here. This is the super awesome fusion power GOTENKS, a super int type. The leader skill is Special Pose, category key +4, 170% across the board with a youth category, key +3, HP and attack, 170%, defense 130. Here's the issue with all these new categories. We're like way over 40 categories now, like getting closer to 50, which is just ridiculous, the amount of categories we have on Dokkan. But here's the problem with Special Pose. It's not very good. These are all the units here. I'll kind of blow it up real quick. So look at that, and then kind of look at there. Like the only LR on the Special Pose is the LR Goten and Trunks, and they're on the youth category already, so that doesn't matter. The Super Saiyan 3s are on here, great. There's a couple support units, like Great Saiyan Man and then Topo, but that's it. It's kind of like a free-to-play team. There's a lot of free-to-play units on here, so yeah, very interesting. I'm not sure, I'm sure there's other people that have special poses that should be definitely viable on this team here. But it at least has a youth category, but even though the youth category really isn't that great either. So I don't know. I think the leader skill, with what those actually are, it's going to be really tough to kind of create a ultimate team with those units there. But fortunately, this unit's on a ton of other categories, so we'll get to that in 1 second. So let's talk about the super attack. Is Victory Flash, greatly raises defense for 1 turn. That's a 50% boost, causes immense damage to enemy. The passive skill is Massive Power Up, key +1, attack and defense 100%, and then transforms 3rd turn, which is fantastic. 3rd turn is a great stipulation. It's just like the Future Trunks and Merzumasu. So at the 3rd turn, boom, you transform into something really a lot better than the current state that this unit's in. Link skills, Signature Pose, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Innocence, Fuse Fighter, Supreme Power, Fierce Battle, which is great. And then categories, that's the huge benefit for this unit here. It's on what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 categories, right? So Fusion, Hybrid Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, Super Saiyan 3, Transformation Booth, Youth, Super Saiyans, and Last Resort and Special Pose. So sadly, it is not a 170% Majin Buu Saga, which we really need. I don't know why they did not do a leader skill at Majin Buu Saga, and you'll see the Buu doesn't have it either. So yeah, kind of drives me a little bit crazy there. So they're leaving out Majin Buu Saga as unless they're going to show up with another unit that's going to provide that. So the stats are HP 16.4, 17,000 for attack is really good for a TUR, and then 12,000 for defense is really good as well. So all in all, for base form, it's fine, but it gets absolutely better at Super Saiyan transformation. So when you go ahead and transform, you go into the Super Saiyan GOTENKS. Leader skills stay the same. You add a really nice benefit here. The super attack, you add a great chance of stunning the enemy at 70%. That is really good. So that's fantastic there. Now the passive skill is very interesting. It's a very RNG, but that's kind of GOTENKS anyway, right? GOTENKS is RNG in general. So the increase on the passive skill, the secret finisher, is a key +1 to key +2. Attack and defense stays the same at 100%. And here's kind of where the RNG goofiness comes in. So you have a high chance of increasing your attack by 50%, and that's a 50% chance to increase it by 50%, with an additional 50% chance to increase it by another 50%. Hopefully you guys get that. So attack and defense, you're able to increase by 50% on a high chance, which is 50%, and you're able to do that in a sense 4 times, 2 times with attack, 2 times with defense, and it's calculated separately. So it's going to be more than a 200% boost. So let's say you got all of them, you just added everything, it's a 200% to attack and defense, but it's going to be in a sense calculated a little differently. So interesting. So if you don't get any buffs, you're still at attack and defense at 100%, which will be quite sad. But then if you maximize everything, I think it's going to be quite high damage on this stage here. And then on top of that, you do have a medium chance, which is a 25% chance of launching additional super attack, which will benefit you in being able to stun and greatly raises defense. So that is a nice benefit there. So anyway, there is an active skill, transformation, which transforms into Super Saiyan 3. However, so here's the details. Transforms can be activated 70% of HP or above, starting from the 4th turn after transformation. 4th turn after transformation is after 3 turns. So 3 turns, 4 turns, that's 7 turns. They really didn't even need to add the 70% to HP for this, because 7 turns is quite a long time, but I'm guessing that they're really going to hopefully introduce more events that you need to be in a longer fighting format than Dokkan events and even Super Battle Road, because Super Battle Road resets every time you beat a stage. So yeah, and there's a reason why it's going to take this long, because when you transform to Super Saiyan 3, you're like transforming into an LR. It's ridiculous, and we'll talk about that in 1 second. So the Link skills, it does change from Saiyan Warrior Race and Saiyan Lineage to Super Saiyan and Golden Warrior, and then everything else stays the same. So now let's look at the full transformation into Super Saiyan 3 GOTENKS, which is, like I said, like transforming into an LR. It's crazy. So Super Saiyan 3 GOTENKS here. Oh, you know what? I didn't highlight the super attack. So the super attack did change. I just didn't highlight it. So the Brain Crash Hammer is greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns. So you can stack, double stack, even stack multiple times if you have an additional attack here, and that's a 50% to defense and to attack for 3 turns, which is fantastic. And then for some reason it drops the high chance of stunning, the greatly high chances of stunning, from 70% to 50% stunning. So I'm not sure why they ended up doing that, but okay. So that's the change there. Here's where the passive skill changes. Attack and defense stays the same, and then plus additional 100% to attack when performing a super attack. So if you do a super attack, you're gonna get 200% to attack, which is crazy. And then you're gonna get a +3 to ki, and great chance, 70% chance of launching an additional super attack. However, only in 4 turns. So which is weird. I don't know why they chose 4 turns, which is really just 2 times you're gonna be able to do this attack here. So well, actually, yeah, in a sense, because each turn you're gonna skip a turn. So yeah, I don't know why they had the 4 turns there. I wish they just would have took that out. But yeah, you're gonna get the +3 to ki and 200% to attack when you're doing a super attack, and then a 70% chance of getting an additional super attack, which is just a ridiculous amount of damage, right? Because you're gonna get that greatly raises to attack and defense with this 50% increase. Now there is no a defensive bonus here, because you are primarily going to get that 50% to defense and be able to stack that defense. So, but they could have added like maybe 50% to defense, but still, I think it's still going to be just fine. So this is ridiculous. The amount of damage this can do, like 5 million, $6 million damage, is it's just crazy. It's, like I said, it's kind of like hitting with an LR. It's very, very powerful if you can get to the point of transforming, which is 7 turns from this beginning of the battle. So legendary Goku event, and hopefully they'll add more than just the Goku. Maybe hopefully they'll add a Frieza or a Buu or something like that, that we can just run more of those events. So link skills, you do change one more time from signature pose and Golden Warrior to Over the Flash and limit breaking form, and everything else stays the same. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about Gotenks in the comment section below. I think he's wonderful if you can definitely get to this point in time, but I like the RNG. Do love the card art, and yeah, he's very similar to that Trunks and the Trunks and Zamasu, the AGL Zamasu last year, right, in Golden Week. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into now the transforming Buu. So let's start with the Buu here. So the card art is the SSR to the left and the TUR to the right, and I love the card art on both of these. Really, really good. And really what I like also is that the separation of good and evil, Majin Buu good / Majin Buu pure evil, it's its own card. You can run this on any team, on the categories, or any, of course, extreme tech team and things of that nature, and you're not going to take a spot of a evil Buu, a good Buu, or Majin Buu, or any other sort of other Buu. So that's really, really, really strong here. So the leader skills, this is also extreme tech. The leader skill is Majin Power, 170% across the board, ki +4, and then artificial life forms, ki +3, HP and attack, 170% and defense 130. Once again, no Majin Buu Saga leader skill, which drove me crazy that I did not get to see that. So Majin Power is very interesting. It looks something like this. Now, when I say Majin Power, you would also think, wait, where's Majin Vegeta, right? Majin Vegeta got some Majin Power, and Stopovich and whatever those guys are, but I guess it's really looking at units that have is just more Majin Buu than anything else, right? So 21, got the DNA from Majin Buu, and Oob, of course, reincarnation of Majin Buu. So Babidi's not on here, Stopovich or Majin Vegeta. So it's a very, very small category, and so you're just going to be running a Buu team, generally speaking, on this. But you do have artificial life forms, which is a lot better, and but I'd say both leader skills and the teams that you can create are definitely not like the top categories. However, once again, this unit is on a lot of other categories, so you can definitely run this unit on other teams. So let's go ahead and do the rest of the breakdown here. The super attack is Kamehameha and greatly raises attack for 1 turn, which is a 50% increase to the SA multiplier. That is immense damage to an enemy. Passive skill is Dangerous Existence. Key +1 attack 100% and reduces damage by 40%. So Gotenks has the defensive increase, but this unit here will have damage mitigation. So, and then exchange with Majin Buu Pure Evil when conditions are met, and then the same thing as the Gotenks. It's at the 3rd turn, so it's going to be exchanged into the 3rd turn, where of course Buu is good Buu is no longer there. It's going to be Pure Evil Buu. Link skills is Majin, Innocence, Kamehameha, Infinite Regeneration, Revival, the Wall Standing Tall, and Fierce Battle. And you might go, oh, those aren't very good link skills. Well, if you're going to be running a Majin Buu team, it's going to be fine. Categories. Great categories here. Resurrected Warriors, Majin Buu Saga, Transformation Boost, Time Travelers, Artificial Life Forms, Kamehameha, and Majin Power. And the stats are really solid as well. 16.6, 16.9, which is almost 17,000 for attack, which is great. And then 12.4 for defense. Now, let's go ahead and look at the transformation exchange, and this is going to be the Majin Buu Pure Evil. So on the super attack, the Guilty Flash adds on seals the super attack, which is great. So adds a sealing effect on here. The passive skill is the Smoke's True Form. So it increases the Key +1 to Key +2 and attack to 150. Reduces damage 40%, so that doesn't really change. High chance of stunning the enemy, the attacked enemy, 40% chance, which is amazing. And then a 25% chance to evade the enemy's attack. So you have 40% damage mitigation and a 25% dodge chance, which is pretty crazy. So I would say the exchange mechanic for the Evil Buu here is much better than the Super Saiyan Gotenks. That's my opinion there, but just looking at it, it's all these extra, it seals, it stuns, it dodges, damage mitigation, and 150% to attack. So with no RNG. Really, really great. Active skill absorption is virtually the same thing as the active skill transformation for Gotenks. 70% or more HP, and then starting from the 4th turn after the exchange. So 7 turns in, you will transform or exchange 1 more time. Once again, into just a ridiculous unit. So link skills, you do change from what the Innocence, Kamehameha, and Revival to Brutal Beatdown, Berserker, and Fear and Faith. Category is still the same and stats still the same. So now let's look at this ridiculous unit here at transformation. Super Buu, right? Greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns, so that's another stacking ability there, and still seals the super attack. All right, so fantastic there. You can do the attack and defensive stacking just like the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Passive skill, +3 to keep 220%. They could have just went 200, right? But they did 220%. Reduces damage by 50% and chance of performing a critical 12% with every rainbow key obtained. So the most rainbow keys you can obtain is 5, so it would be a 60% critical hit in a sense. And then you get the, so yeah, you lose the dodging, which you kind of really don't need anyway, because you have the reduction of damage by 50%. Plus you have that stacking ability for the 50% to defense. So really strong there. You do have another link skill change to Metamorphosis, but this unit is just ridiculous, right? So just ridiculous when he goes into Super Buu. But even more so, I even think at Evil Buu, it's a really good unit. So even though if you don't even get here, that Evil Buu is very strong as well. So yeah, so this is the 2 units here, the Super Buu and the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks transforming into these units here. And it's just, yeah, they were really fantastic. And yeah, I can't wait to summon on those. Hopefully get to pull those on my main JP, even though I don't play it that much. But definitely can't wait for this to happen on Global. We should get this toward the end of the year. So Anyway, let's go ahead and break down the other units that are on here. So I'm going to quickly go through the rest of this because this is already, what, a 20-minute video. So first and foremost, let's talk about the Dokkan Awakenings. So starting with the Dokkan Awakening for Skinny Buu. Skinny Buu is ridiculous. All right, leader skills, you guys can see that, 90% to AGL. Medium chance of stunning the enemy, passive skill. All right, so Dokkan Awakens to attack and defense 150%. Key plus 3, an additional attack and defense 150%. And a high chance of evading enemies' attack, super attack at the start of the turn from seven turns from the start of the turn. Okay, so what that means is a 300% to attack and defense, and a high chance of evading enemies' attack for 7 turns. That's what's happening here. Now, why it's ridiculously high, right? 300%, but as you can see, the stats are really low. You're looking at 13,000, 13,011, where actually defense isn't low, so the defense is going to be ridiculous here. So yeah, that is crazy. 150 and another 150. Pretty awesome. So link skills you can see there, categories you can see there. So it's gonna be, oh, by the way, categories, representative universe 7. So this is beneficial to that category, which it just doesn't have that many or has great units but doesn't have many units. So representative universe 7 is going to get a little buff there. So next one is these finally are getting Dokkan Awakenings. I've been asking for these for years, and they're fantastic. So you have the Tech Trunks and then the Int Goten. They're both Super Saiyan here. They're both Kamehameha category leaders, 100 right there. Super attack, they both provide raises attack by 30% to all allies, and they do both supreme damage. And so really the only difference between these two, right, it's 120% to attack, which is great, reduces damage by 40%, which it already had before, plus an additional 70% to attack, so Trunks is additional 70% to attack and reduces damage by additional 30% when performing a super attack when there is an ally, Goten Kid or Krillin, youth excluded, attacking on the same turn. Okay, same thing over here, except for its Kid Trunks and Krillin on the Goten. Alright, so like I said, virtually the same unit, but it's just a little bit different on getting that secondary buff, Trunks Kid. So you want to run both of these on the same turn, really, if you want to get the benefit of it. So link skills, you can see there, you got the same. So you got Budding Warrior, that's going to help out on each categories. One difference on the category is Goten has Siblings Bond, which Trunks does not. So very, very good units here. So definitely if you have them rainbow, they're going to be really good units on really any mode of the game, right? Super Battle Road, Legendary Goku event, history, stuff like that. So very, very good units. Now you have another Dokkan Awakening for this GOTENKS here, this base form GOTENKS. So you're going to get greatly lowers defense, supreme damage to enemy. Passive skill is attack and defense 90% when performing a super attack. Launches an additional with a medium chance of becoming a super attack when facing one enemy, and an additional attack and defense 40% when you have a defensive down enemy attack status. So nothing overly too amazing on this one, but still a solid boost for this base form GOTENKS. And let's look at, hey, that's right, Tarbell gets a boost here. So Sibling Bonds category 50% leader here, and so this is a free-to-play unit, I believe, right? So, and you're gonna get a raises attack by 25% for allies at the super attack there. Passive skill is changes strength key orbs to AGL's key orbs, and attack and defense 60%, chance of evading enemies attack 30%. When there's 2 or more Vegeta family category allies on the team. Siblings Bonds category, key plus 1 attack and defense 20%, which is kind of nice. You can run this team unit here on a Siblings Bonds category with more Vegetas on a team. So Siblings Bonds is getting better and better because the diversity of teams are really fun. So so that's his link skills categories, and of course the stats are just really low. Yeah, I think this is a free to play unit here. So that is the Tarbell, right? Did I say Cabo or Tarbell? It's Tarbell. So So yeah, so we get a Dokkan Awakening to Tarbell, and then we get these units here. So these are going to be three free-to-play units here, and it's going to be in a sense the Goku's family here. So starting with the Goku, it's an Otherworlds category lead, has a medium chance of stunning the enemy. The passive skill there, the super attack skill there. The passive skill is defensive 70%, attack 120 for 7 turns, start of a turn, and a high chance of evading enemies' attack starting from the 8th turn. This is just kind of weird here, but that's fine. Plus it can do some damage, but then he's worthless after 7 turns, but he can then evade and have some defense. Plus an additional attack and defense 59% when there's an ally that includes Goten kids attacking the same turn. And then Goku's family category allies keep plus 20% to attack and defense. So I think, for a free-to-play unit, it's a really great unit. So stats are really low, of course, but yeah, I think it's it's a nice free-to-play for you free-to-play players out there. So next one is the Ultimate Gohan. I hope they give us an LR here, but raises attack indefinitely, so this is kind of nice on here. It is a Hybrid Saiyan's 50% leader. Attack and defense 58% plus an additional 58% to attack and defense with a high chance of an additional super attack when there is a Goku family's allies, self-included, attacking the same turn, which is great. So it should have a nice little boost for attack and defense, and it still has a passive support for Goku's family, which is key plus 1, attack and defense only 10% though. Okay, so still really nice, stats low, but I think works out really well. And then finally the Goten here, I think this one's probably the most useful one. Lowers attack for the super attack there, attack and defense 70%. Goku's family category allies is key plus 1, attack and defense 30%, so great support there, plus an additional key plus 3, and all allies plus an additional 10% attack and defense when there is a Goku Angel or a Trunks Kid attacking the same turn. So I think it's a really nice boost. It's going to be a 40% boost primarily to that turn there. So that's really nice, a 40%, because if you're going to be running a Goku Angel or a Kid Trunks, usually you're going to run a Kid Trunks probably with this team that you're going to be on here. So very, very interesting and really nice free-to-play support unit here. So link skills categories you can see there, and the stats on this one is a lot better than the other ones, right? So a lot better than these here. So anyway, I think these are fantastic free-to-play units. If you're free-to-play, grind them up, rainbow them, go do all that good stuff. Who knows, they might even get easy A's, right? So anyway, man, we are at 26 minutes. There was a lot to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all this. We got the Buu, we got the GOTENKS here. God, I love that card art. So yeah, that's everything, and it's going to be dropping really soon, and we should all be expecting a part 2 to this as well. So with that, if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff, and if you're an OG, thank you for your continued support. Hit that notification button to stay up to date with all my latest videos. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.